Hey guys, it's Kevin Kreider with. I discovered the GAPS diet back in 2013 because I had alopecia. Well, I still have alopecia areata. It's a stress-induced hair loss because your autoimmune. It's an autoimmune disease. It gets triggered by stress, so it's stress-induced. And then what happens is your body and autoimmune system starts attacking the hair follicles of your body, seeing as a foreign antigen, and starts to attack the hair follicles, and then it falls out. I was under a ton of stress back then, and I was speaking to a roommate who also had this thing called leaky gut syndrome. She had leaky gut syndrome, and she tried all this chemotherapy. None of it seemed to work, and she was on her last hope and string, and she found this GAPS diet, which was made for autoimmune diseases. And I figured because I had an autoimmune disease and I had a ton of inflammation from the stress that this would really help. I'm not claiming that this cured my hair. This is just one of the pieces that helped along the way, and it was the GAPS diet. And from what I remember from the GAPS diet, the link is below, just in case if you want to check out all the phases. This is what I did for the GAPS diet. The GAPS diet is basically clearing out your gut, because your gut has a lot of nerves and a lot of signals that it sends to your brain and your body. And they're finding that for Alzheimer's disease, it starts with the gut, actually. So if you can clean out your gut a little bit, it could help with that. Now, they're just finding so much goes on with this that it goes beyond just hair. And what I want to share with you on this is the way I did it. Now, I shortcut the phases a little bit because mine was just from stress-induced hair loss, autoimmune disease, alopecia areata. My roommate, she did this really strict for a long period of time, and there's 6 phases, and I'm pretty sure I only cut it down to 3 because, like I said, I just wanted to get rid of the inflammation in my body and reduce my stress. So I shortcut it a little bit. And if you're on a life dependent, like what she had, leaky gut, if it was life dependent, then no, I would really recommend sticking to this to the T and extend the phases as long as possible, because your life could depend on it, actually. So it's recommended to stick with each phase for 3 to 6 weeks. I did 3 weeks. So the first phase is chicken broth, stock, and you make it yourself. You use filtered water, and I get a whole chicken that's together, and I did organic. So make sure it's organic, grass-fed, because you're going to be eating that and drinking the broth mostly. And you can pick bone marrow from I picked Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and just make sure you have whole bones with marrow in it, and you can put that in with the chicken broth too. I actually did it separately because I got bored of having whole chicken and just the broth. But the first 3 weeks is just the bone broth, actually. And you can have some probiotics, like I chose to actually not have the supplemental probiotics. I had the actual sauerkraut, because sauerkraut has probiotics in it, and I needed to get filled a little bit faster. And you can put some vegetables in there as well, but make sure you boil the vegetables with the bone broth and the chicken, the whole chicken in itself. So I was only having that for 3 weeks straight with the broth. So what you want to do is just sip on the broth, and first thing in the morning you can have filtered water, which is what I had. I had filtered water, and I would then, in the first 3 weeks, that's why I shortcut it for 3 weeks, is because I really was starving. And then you would have tea with honey in it, or ginger tea. So I actually got ginger and I split it up and had honey for about 3 weeks, and I lost a lot of weight, obviously. This is not really recommended if your life doesn't depend on it, or if you don't have that hair loss, or let's just say you want to just cleanse your body. I had chicken broth. I actually had the chicken itself too, because it was very tender. It was very tender, and I wouldn't eat the bones, obviously, but you can if you wanted to. It's really soft after you boil the whole chicken for about 3 hours. So I was having about one of those a day. So obviously the next day I'd have to get a whole nother chicken, but then I get bored of that, so I'd have like I said, bean bones with marrow in it, and then I'd eat the marrow from the inside too, because that's very healing for the gut as well. So then after that, then I would add in, after the first 3 weeks, then I would add in kefir yogurt into, and boiled eggs. So I'd take an egg and put it into my broth or my bone broth as well, and I'd eat the marrow, and that's what I would do for another 3 to 6 weeks. And then I figure I put vegetables in there, and then I figured, you know, I'm pretty good. I don't really need to stick with this that much. Like, I feel good. My hair, like follicles, I don't know if they were growing back or not, but I just kept it the way it was. So I stuck with that for a long period of time, and it probably took me 2 months. But the thing is, you just do it based off of what your desired result is. So I put the link below. You can choose to just follow it the way you'd want to. That's what I did for me. I also did a lot of physical exercise and meditation on that, so I can't say one or the other really helped. I believe all of it helped for my alopecia areata. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you soon.
How's it look?